Good? All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. A lot less people than expected. However, hopefully some will still trickle in. Just little highlights of the night. Unfortunately, Al can't be with us for finance disclosure. He had to run out of the state. Death in the family. So I hope everything's going well with him and his family. Marlene, unfortunately, was on the way as well, and she started coming down with some blurriness in her vision. So for safety purposes, I'd rather have her stay home than make it down here. Please don't mind the bandages. They mean nothing. Just so you won't be grossed out.
And just remind us of how
So I can't make facial expressions. Sorry.
That would be on the front page.
We've already discussed the title for it.
Yeah. So according to Philip, this is what happens when I don't listen to my membership. You know. So I just wanted to tell you guys I don't expect everybody to do this, right? So I do it. That's just because that's who I am, and I mean to show you guys commitment in making sure the association succeeds. I'd like to start off by introducing one of our newest member that joined today, and then we'll go around the table and introduce yourselves for a brief, moment. Let us know who you are, what you do, and how you can be of help to the association, please. So we'll start off with our newest member, who is Rene Garcia from Rencia Transportation. Please tell us about you, boss.
Well, my name is Rene Garcia. I saw a few minutes ago, and I have my small company, which is luxury transportation. Luxury yes.
My name is Matt. Just tell me anything.
Okay.
No.
Well, welcome. Thank you very much. And I'm pretty sure I will see most of you in the future.
Our second newest to be, please.
Wedding cars. We specialize in high-end luxury cars. We have a Maybach, Rolls Royce, Phantom, and Bentley Planet Spur. We specialize mainly with weddings and for bride and groom cars. And our limousines we farm out to transportation companies currently. I don't own any limousines, only the high-end sedans currently.
So, as a new GOLA member,
We're going to have to create a full new tab in our fleet options for our guests, and that's going to be for you. How you like them apples?
Sounds good.
Right?
I like that.
Go ahead.
And it's Maybach's outside in case anybody didn't see us. I'm sure you did. We'll do a
Oh,
presentation moment.
we're going to do Gola Vision in a minute. We'll show it off.
Cliff Royal Transportation Group, limousines, SUVs, vans, Sprinter limos. We have our new Chrysler 300 stretch outside that Kevin delivered to us a couple weeks ago. Show it off outside a little bit. If you didn't see it, it's an awesome car and it's perfect. He insures it.
Thanks, Victor.
where did Blue go?
He's outside. I'll say it right now. Blue Finance.
Matt Clements. Everybody props.
Matt Clements with Professional Insurance Center. We specialize in insurance and transportation industry. So anything that transports a passenger, we insure it. So give us a call.
Kevin Gore with Executive American Dealer Group, factory rep for Executive Coach Builder and Springfield Coach. We have a load of 2016 Sprinters, limo, and shuttles. I have a brand new 2016 shuttle out there, as well as the Chrysler that Cliffy had just picked up. And that's me. Next.
I am Church Street Limousine, and I partner with both.
And now we own Easy Time Transportation, and I'll take up where Al said. Whatever you have, I have.
He's got a good tramp.
We'll skip our speaker of the night, and then so he'll stand up and talk to us about what he's got.
I'm David Thompson with RRL Insurance Agencies. We're located in Melbourne. We also serve all of you
Everybody knows who I am, I hope.
And if you don't, Isaac Hernandez.
What's your name again? We used to see that guy with that nice face. And
I can't make facial expressions.
okay.
What do you tell your clients to see in the car?
I actually thought about driving today, but no.
Put him in the car, put him on the hood.
Isaac Hernandez with Access Transportation, everything under the sun, and perhaps even two there one day, who knows. But from the sedan to the limousine, high-end, I also do have the Maybach, so great to know that I have somebody else that I can lean on for support as well. If you need anything, let me know. Daryl was going to make it today, but unfortunately he got tied up fixing his car. He called me from Daytona. He says, I need some help. And so just as an association, guys, we're all individual operators, but as an association, we're all one. So if you ever find yourself in a bind, do that. Reach out to the association and we'll be happy to help you out, just like he did. So otherwise, like I said, we're going to skip the finance portion and we're going to skip the membership only towards the end until I plead for more members. And we will introduce Philip Jagiela, who's our speaker for the day. He's coming out to us all the way out of state to talk to us about chauffeur-driven.
Biggest supporter.
Hey, Isaac, have him come down here closer to this.
He will talk to us about how Chauffeur Driven is coming to Orlando and how, as an association, as a
Member and as an individual, you can benefit by either being a member and making sure, obviously, you attend the chauffeur-driven. And, of course, he has a surprise for us. I don't know what it is. He didn't tell me. But otherwise, have him come over here and please introduce yourself, and we'll go from there. Thank you, Philip. Let me have...
You want here? If you guys want, you can move down a little if you want to.
You heard you didn't shower.
Let me give you the mic real quick.
I gotta put it on a certain way because this thing is.
Allow us to come and do little short videos. So you're going to have to pay Jeremy his way there, but he's doing an awesome job on these things. Go ahead. You can cut that out, by the way.
Well, good evening, folks. I'm glad to be a participant again in this meeting. I enjoyed it so thoroughly last year, and it was a wonderful opportunity to take and meet with the group that was there at that time. Isaac, I wish you the best as president of this fine association. Your mentality with how to support others is really critical to the sustaining of any association. Cliff, you should be very proud of the fact that you support every one of your vendor members as well. That is a critical component. I cannot stress enough that vendors are part of your lifeblood to make sure that you are able to take and do what you do and do it well. So while you have the networking of an association, you must take and work with and say, hey, if you're a GOLA member, I want to work with you. If you're not, okay, but why not? There's a lot of value in that association one with another, and I stress the vendors are a key component to that. I've known it. I was an operator, for those that don't know of me, in the Philadelphia market for over 25 years. My career path has been varied. I continue to be blessed with every one of the opportunities that I've been presented with. I have started my own company. This was a little over 2 years ago, Association Management and Consulting. I represent the Colorado Association, the Virginia Association, United Passenger Transportation Association of Pennsylvania, the Minority Limousine Operators of America. I also work with Chauffeur Driven, as you have me here this evening as their industry and brand ambassador. And my latest client is Arthur Messina from Driving Results. He has the various groups that he works with, and he networks. We call them 20 groups, and they have various levels. You have affiliate managers, owners, general managers, companies that are $2 million and under and $2 million and above. So there's a lot of hats that I might wear, but the industry has changed dramatically with some word that you call TNCs. But those that continue to do transportation and do it well
will sustain themselves. You have to get past some of those challenges as you are faced with challenges day in and day out, whether it's acquiring chauffeurs, whether it's the next vehicle that you want to take and purchase, whether it's your insurance requirements that you have. There are many challenges that you face, and the first person that you should have as an employee of your company is a psychiatrist, because you have no idea why you're in this industry, but you do it. And you do it with a passion and a love that is second to none. So I am proud of what you do, but I'm very blessed to no longer be an operator. After 25 years, I think I've done my time, and it was not behind bars. So, with that, I would like to just share some of the different things that are even greater extension to what happens when you network with fellow people. And obviously, we represent Chauffeur Driven. We have our executive retreat, which is next month in San Francisco. It is limited to 200 operators from around the country. I personally like that a lot better than the trade shows, no matter which one you're speaking about, because it is more intimate is the word that I use. You have more quality time with people to talk about what you do, how you do it. Where in a trade show, it tends to be a little bit of an overload. While the education is second to none with what we provide with you at Chauffeur Driven, it still becomes overload. You go back home, pumped up, ready to change the world, change your business model, and you say, what did I just learn? Or you get run over by a car, or you have the next flat tire, and you forget everything that you just learned. Where coming to association meetings on a regular basis, it is constantly reinforced the value of association membership. When you go to our executive retreat, it builds on that principle. The more that you are able to take and see the same people day in and day out, and I look around the room and think about how many people I've known throughout the years, as I said, and I'm not calling them out on age, but for his longevity in this industry is phenomenal. And this is his second career, I just learned tonight. So I always learn myself, and I find that very, very exciting. To meet some of the new people I do here this evening, it's a great honor for me to be in your company. And so I thank you for that. Isaac did mention we do have something, and wherever we like to go, we are very, very engaged in the industry at Chauffeur Driven. We attend association meetings around the country. Personally, I do plenty of my own traveling to take and be there for whatever it may be. I was in the Limousine Association New Jersey meeting last Wednesday. Great auction that was done up there, raised over $24,000 for their value, purposes of what they are working on. GCLA, wherever, you'll see me. I do my Facebook postings to let you know where I'm at, how engaged I am in the industry, because I enjoy what I do. So it's as simple as that. But our special treat tonight is we do have a full show pass for every current member of the Greater Orlando Limousine Association. So you will drop your business cards into a hat. I heard some people say they don't have business cards tonight. I chastise those people appropriately. Sorry, but it is for operators only. Vendors, I apologize for that. I don't make those rules. You did pay. You pay dearly. But nevertheless, for those that are operator members, this is your chance to take and win a full show pass to our trade show. So that's another incentive to become a member of the association, because we do travel the country and offer these opportunities to those organizations we meet with. I'll touch a little bit on some of the things that I've heard, because I look to be further educated this evening as well, because with your relationship with TNCs, we saw that the state is going to take over your rules and regulations as we read it, as we hear it reported to us. But I'm hearing some confusing statements that are being made about the airports, whether you are able to go, whether you're not able to go. So I'm looking forward to learning more about that. I don't want to take anything away from that. But what I do see around the country is that TNCs are becoming less and less of a concern. Yes, they're over 7 years old now in some way, shape, or form. They have made their mark. They've made a mark that has certainly put companies out of business. They've seen companies merge their companies, and they've seen people that just are no longer in the industry for one reason or another. To me, that's very sad. And the industry is shrinking right now, and it's shrinking at rates than it ever has. It's funny in speaking with you with the insurance industry, how they've lost companies to take and provide the insurance. But operators are merging. They are being bought, sold at a dramatic rate around the country. And I believe, although I don't have a crystal ball, that in 3 years, 1 out of every 3 people won't be here any longer. from what I've seen thus far. But for people that can identify their market and do it well, you're going to sustain yourself. And I think that there are people that have identified that, whether it's in the retail end, whether it's in the corporate end. What differentiates yourself? You have the newest cars, okay? Think, what does the consumer want? Not what you want to give them, but what does the consumer want?
I know one. They want a good driver.
I'm sorry?
They want a good driver.
You want a good driver.
They want a good driver.
They want a good driver. You know what they want? Instant gratification. That's why the TNCs have made a dramatic mark. I shared my story last year. We have a daughter that, my lovely wife Linda works in the industry as well. Currently she is the Director of Development, Business Development for a company, Atlantic Limousine in Atlanta, Georgia. She works remote, so she's been in the industry for many a year, not quite as long as myself. I'm an old guy, I get that, but I've got a very young wife, so that keeps me very young too. But our daughter goes to American University, just graduated this past weekend. The instant satisfaction by pushing that button means the world to her. We can tell her every horror story that has been bona fide and proven to be true means nothing to her. She knows that it's inexpensive. She can look on her phone and say how quick it's coming. And she's going to be very courteous to the driver because she knows he's going to rate her. And by that rating determines whether or not she might have service again in the future. So with me telling you that true story, take it to heart. Because the best thing, though, that the TNCs did for the industry, they taught that 22-year-old person that she's entitled to car service. Entitled to car service. I don't think we as an industry was doing that well of a job to take and make the younger audience be aware that car service is out there. So work on those principles, and bring them to your business model in some way, shape, or form, and I believe you will too will be successful for many years to come. That's kind of some of the things that I wanted to touch on. Do you have any specific questions that you might have me address at this particular point in time? If not, I thank you very much. At the end of the evening here, we will do our drawing. Looking forward to having a show pass granted, and I thank each and every one of you for being here this evening. Thank you. My pleasure.
So I know we're limited in membership today, but guys. Huh?
It's a world of knowledge.
Yeah.
You go in there knowing that you're not knowing a lot.
Well, as you guys eat, you got anything to inform us with before I start giving more information? No? You didn't hear anything from the...
No. Just the show for driven news came out.
I still landed, so there's some interesting articles in there. Got a whole new executive staff at another company, so you'll see it. Can't figure it out.
So don't forget the meeting at the airport. Workshop.
So that's next week, right?
Yeah.
What's the workshop about?
Alright. So let's do. I have 3 things I want to share with you.
First of all, Matt is still working on that insurance with us, and I don't know really the status on it with the ABA for the American Bus Association. But just to add to it, and I didn't call you because I didn't figure I was too busy and I was hurting. But due to the new law that will take effect on July 1st, because it's already been signed into law, so our governor has signed it. So the state of Florida has now starting to prepare itself to transition into this new process. for those operation areas like the airports and the ports that had policies in place and procedures in place, they're back into the drawing board, literally blank page kind of thing. They're scrambling because we're only a month away before they have to, or in this case, they have no rights or things to do as to how they're going to regulate TNC drivers, right? So with that said, Matt and I were working on a blanket policy because one of the things that the airport has already been approached with from the TNCs like Ubers is how do they become the main, I guess you call permit holder for the airport, so that all their drivers just simply go to the airport without having to register individually. So, and the reason for that is because although the law cannot or will not allow the airport to regulate the TNCs, it does allow them to implement a fee for every car that goes into the airport for business. And how would you track a fee, right? Is you have to get some kind of transponder submitted, some kind of application to the airport. Even though there's no regulation to tell you can't do it, you still have to go in there and do that whole process in order for the airport to track it and truly hold you accountable for paying to go into the airport. Because they're allowed to charge you a fee according to the law, but they can't stop you because you're not a black car or because you're not a permit in properly insured vehicle. So they can't stop you, but they can charge you. So in order for them to charge you, they have to put something in place that they can hold you accountable. So more or less, the deposits are not going to go away, right? If you're going to work at the airport, more or less, you're still going to make a deposit to get the authorization to use the transponder so you can get charged when you go into the airport. Per Ratib, they're looking to expand a geofencing system like they have at the port now, where instead of going into the tunnel, it's when you go into the airport. So it don't matter what gate you go to or whatever the case may be. It's going to be a geofencing signal that's going to read your transponder once you go in, and you're going to get charged. So whether you go to A or B or whatever. There's a lot of things that they're talking about, but the good thing about it is on May 23rd, they're going to have, May 23rd and 29th, they're going to have a workshop. So he hasn't sent me the full details, but it's going to be at 2 p.m. or so at the airport. They're going to have a workshop where anyone can come and hopefully have an input on what it is that they actually put in place. And to be honest with you guys, what they're asking for is come in, help us brainstorm on what it is that we need to do to manage this, because we are not going to stop it. It's going to happen. But if we all get together and we come up with a system together, then we might be able to have somewhat of an input on what they do.
What about the city of Orlando? I mean, are we still required to have those permits?
So
And the TNC companies are not going to have the permits?
I saw that coming all day, right? So that's the airport, that's the FBOs, that's the fixed operation facilities, right? They're having to change their policies on what they can and cannot regulate. The municipalities like the city of Orlando, Osceola, all these counties and whatnot, they're an even bigger bind, right? Because the city of Orlando has a lot of unincorporated areas, which is that fall under county, right? Orange County. And so they're constantly apparently fighting as to where their radius or where their enforcement is and stuff like that. As of right now, according to Hill at the downtown Orlando, is they will continue status quo for livery vehicles. Meaning, in order for you to do business in the city, you still need to have a permit. You still need to have this background check and all that kind of stuff. Because according to the city, this law will only apply to the TNC, the transportation network companies.
Right.
It has nothing to do with delivery companies, which is the pre-scheduled trip companies that we currently own and do. Right? So that's what he's saying, and I had a really big discussion with him. Sat down and I had him give me a bunch of details or examples of what he was talking about. It just ain't gonna fly. There's no way for me, I don't do a lot of business downtown anyway, but there's no way for me, no value for me to get a permit. That's all right.
Are we all good, guys? Are we missing anything? Do we need anything else? I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm the only one here. Is there anything else you guys need? More water, more soda, more napkins, anything like that? Perfect.
You're doing great, brother.
No,
No, I'm good. I'm good. So there's no way to continue. There's no way for me as an operator that I can really truly have any value in getting those permits, right? But that's a catch-22 for us as in the delivery business, right? I have a lot of corporate work that comes out of the state, and I have to abide by what they require me to have. Instead of the 300,000, I'm required to have a 1.5 in the small vehicles, kind of $1 million insurance. So at that particular situation, as an operator, I don't have a say in the matter. It's going to be status quo for me. I'm going to continue to have my 5 million for the buses and do that because I have to now comply, not with City of Orlando or Orange County. I have to comply with, New York, Massachusetts, LA, Chicago's regulations that they may have in order for me to extend that service to my clients who send me their clients here, their passengers. So with that said, guys, I mean, like Philip was saying, is that what the TNCs have done is put a pressure on how, as an operator, can you look in the mirror and say that you are actually on the scope or precipice of, I guess, the frontier of creating a service that the client can get and feel that it's an entitlement, as he says, and not a service that that you have to somehow tip or somehow pay extra for, right? Because a car service, inevitably, it really is a taxi service, with the exception of it's done by a professional who's going to focus on you as a passenger and not on you as a fare because it's going to be, one of the biggest things I noticed at the airport and some of the other taxi stands is that if that taxi cab driver gets a job to go down the street, he don't even get you in the car, he don't even get your bags in the car, he quickly goes up to that guy that gave him that little short trip and say, hey, you owe me one, you owe me this, or you owe me that, right? So our service was supposed to be a level up to that, to provide that additional personal attention that, yes, it does cost a little bit more, but you're getting that service, right? So with that said, if we continue to do that, like I've been mentioning, continue to keep that brand and bringing that brand awareness to the public and to our clients, is they will continue to use us, right? And even though some companies may not succeed, as Philip was stating, it won't be because the client isn't there. It may be simply because, as an operator, we don't adapt to try to making sure to find out what the client wants, opposed to what we want. This morning alone, I have a client who booked a car, who's paying $200 for a transfer, and an hour later, now I'm charging $300 because of the hour wait. They finally get a hold of me after me calling them, leaving them messages, and telling the driver, don't leave. They got authorized wait, so we got to stay there. Come to find out, they took Uber because they forgot they had booked the car with us.
You got a credit card, right?
No, of course. So we got charged. So we collected.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm trying to share with you. Here's a client who rebooked the return, and didn't even bat an eye that they're being charged almost $300 for, I guess, having one of those off moments and taking an Uber. The point that I'm trying to make here is that that's the same client that paid me $300 that just took an Uber, and if by any chance that Uber driver happened to be another black car, like one of mine, he will start thinking, well, what's the point? I get the same service at a quarter of a charge, right? Well, there is a difference, and the difference is that where he may have gotten lucky that one trip and got the same driver, that won't be consistent.
That will not be consistent. You're right on that.
Right? But that's where we come in as an operator, is we make sure that we provide that a consistent process or expectation to that client. So with that said, guys, listen, May 23rd, put it on your schedule, 2 p.m. We have a workshop with the airport. 2 p.m. as of right now, tentatively. It could be 2:30. May 23rd. If you're not at the airport, putting in your 2 cents, I'm going to tell you what Bill Bennett said back in 82, 83. And that is, it's not enough to sit on your couch and complain that something is unfair or unjust or unlawful. It's not enough to do that. In order for anything to meet your expectations or your rhetoric, you have to get up, get active, and get involved. An association like this offers you that opportunity. As a representative as your president, yes, I'm always out there, reaching out, finding out new information. But as a member, that doesn't mean you can't get up and do that. And right now, that workshop is open for anybody who currently does that service. So please, put it down and go. Where are we with the Port Canaveral? It's completely shot. So that deal thing, that's why I haven't been pressuring you, Matt, is because we lost the 2 guys that were helping us over there. They've quit. They've retired. So
They retired because they were, back in March last year, they were asked to put a program in place, and March this year, a law got passed that told them, "Oh, your work for a year has been bullshit. Go home." Because now all this regulations that they were going to put at the port for our operators won't apply. So they have to go back to the port.
So like Uber in there?
Huh?
So like Uber in there?
They will always
Yeah.
with the permits and the deposits, but now it's going to be just anybody. Just like the airport.
I will tell you this. I have a call today from another operator who has 8 cars. He has 4 cars permitted. He upgraded the people because he was busy Saturday and forgot the car that went in the port didn't have a permit. $250 fine. They got him for that?
Yeah, because they're still active until July 1st. Their policy.
Oh, so meanwhile, July it's going to be 5 Ubers came all around them and didn't have any permits.
The port
they picked up and went.
So the port can't do anything after July 1st.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's why
All the
those
shit
two
they
guys,
did is nothing.
yeah, those 2 guys just.
Does the port refund all those people the big deposit they have?
No, it's still active.
Oh, yeah.
It's still
Oh,
active.
after July,
As of July 1st, you get your money back.
Here's the thing. I don't believe they will. I mean, just like the airport won't give you a deposit, I don't believe they will. Currently, the status situation is how can any installation like the airport ensure that you pay your fee to operate at the airport if they don't hold some kind of deposit or some kind of obligatory,
Hire Morgan Morgan, here's all the money. I get one of them?
So yeah, no, I don't believe that you're ever going to deposit you because you're looking at operations. I mean, I had to pay the $2,500 at the port.
Yeah, we get our 1,000.
So, I can't see them keeping that money if everybody else.
Probably used it all. They probably paid for the toll.
Probably used it all to put all that for this shit up.
I was talking to Retief, I said, so 20 years later from now, you're going to give me $2,500. That's right. He goes, so where's all the interest
Right.
that I could have collected on the money? He goes, everyone loves it.
They spend it on Mitsubishi Trans.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it's an ever-changing playing field for the state of Florida, unfortunately. I wouldn't say we have lost because I'd say that we have actually gained an opportunity to now truly identify and show our passengers what the differentiation between our services and that of TNC or taxi. Right?
I gotta share something.
I got a call from one of the Lake Mary hotels. They know what our rate is from there to the airport. But this person that was there called personally and asked what the rate was. What the rate was. He said, "Oh, I can take Uber for $40." I said, "Ma'am, you're quite welcome to do that." And That's it. No argument.
You want to hear a story?
No argument. Welcome to
I got a better story. You have a client that Ubers to the airport.
Yeah.
And then they Uber, then we pick them up and bring them back, right? Well, the Uber didn't pick her up to the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
She's calling me. How are you? I'm like, I'm in bed. I'm not. And she's like, I need to go to the airport. I'm like, man, you need reservations. I mean, I would go. She's right down the street, but she learned her lesson. She's like, I'm going to take you guys from now to the airport and back.
Yeah.
Because the guy Uber didn't pick her up.
Another guy in Sweetwater did that.
I saw somebody post a meme.
The companies aren't willing to pay round trip.
Right.
They're willing to pay the back, but not to go there or back.
Mhm.
So.
I saw somebody post a meme the other day on Facebook, actually, nonetheless, because I'm pretty active there too when I can. And to that same question, and that is, I know somebody who will charge less. It would be great if, as an operator, you could say, go back and be, well, you know what? I know a customer that will pay more. Because it's all perspective, right? Those who want to pay less for the same amount is those who want to pay more because they have that experience of what you're talking about. So the first person that says, I'll pay $40, goes and wakes up the next morning and there's no car, and therefore, hopefully, never tries that again and stays with us, right? So the reason for that is obviously the bad experience. But how can we not wait on that bad experience? And that is, like I was saying before, is that if we consistently provide the same level of service that the customer can come and expect. And on that. Thanks a lot for coming.
Hey, thank you very much.
I would.
Okay, folks, it has been a pleasure meeting you tonight.
Thank you. We'll see you next month.
And I'll be here next time.
You got your business card. I'll let you keep it.
No, I got my business card
Yeah. Okay.
to put in the hat.
Yeah.
So
I got his application and his payment. So. So that's the real update and innovation for.
it has been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Renee.
Be careful out there.
So that's the update with the state law. And the thing about it is you'd be surprised. There's a lot of other people that know about the law. In fact, I had a friend of mine call me to check up and see how I was doing, and he was telling me, "So what are you doing with this new law?" I'm like, "You follow that crap?" He goes, "Yeah, I follow with every law coming in through the state." So your average customer is aware of all these laws being passed. How they will apply it to themselves, we don't know. On a personal note, guys, for those of you that know me, I've been in this industry for a very short period of time, but my production has skyrocketed. So if you need help with anything, please let me know. I'll be happy to be there to show you what you need to do. But you have to be willing to invest. I'm not talking about coming here after 2 days of get hit by a car, but you have to you have to invest your time and be willing to commit. What about you, Cliff? How's your business? Going up?
Yeah, we had our best couple of weeks. We broke 3 records in May, April.
That's awesome.
Yep, we had day-wise 3 Saturdays in a row. We crushed every record, then we broke it, and broke it again. So it made a turnaround.
There's 3 companies that I know in local Orlando that were sizable competitors that are just recently being bought out, and so they're going through that whole transition of management and all that kind of stuff. And it's been good to me because those clients are like, whoa, something changed and they're no longer giving me what I wanted. So, opportunity or
Erase that off the tape.
or like I say, success is the result of opportunity when being answered when it's knocking at your door, right? So if you're ready and you answered it, then that's when you succeed. But if you're not, so be it.
Just to give you a little update on some new project that I've been working on for the last year. Our Uber Light app will be up and running on the 15th. Between 15th of June. Maybe sooner. Any one of you guys can join on it? The app is exactly the same. So I have my own TNC.
It's in Canada.
So I don't care. I'll change all my cars to just TNC work. Working around all these other hoops that Uber got us through. And it cost me a penny to do. So, we're opening in Orlando. It's an international company. Run out of Dubai. They're up and running in Canada. And you can go online and look it up at it's Falcon X. Right now it's .ca or .us. That's our US affiliate. It's exactly like Uber. Only it will give you more options for cars at the bottom. The big plus is it only cost us 20%, and we didn't have to spend $700 or $800 million to build the app. It's a crazy guy that got so upset with Uber that he went and did his own, and he's competing with them. Real easy, nothing crazy, nothing like Uber, but a little more refined. Slow and steady. So, anybody who wants to join, you can go on and do it. Nice and easy.
Guys, it's always about what are you going to dip yourself into next to succeed. Don't pass up opportunities.
How many people here?
Join them.
How many people here have done Uber work? What was your experience?
My experience?
Yeah.
It was great when it was black.
It was better when it was black.
Yeah, now it's select, and the select's going to go away, and it's just going to be X. So they defeated their whole purpose of transportation.
I don't do it.
They're going down to way below taxi rates. So.
I had a guy pick me up to take me to Disney from my house to Disney. From my house in the balcony to Disney, which was 30 minutes away, and a Honda Genesis, $20 to go from my house in the balcony to the back door of Disney to the hotel was $20.
My sister-in-law took an Uber from Winter Park.
$5. That's it.
$5.
$5.
$15. There's no way I could do that.
This is the reason, and it's taken me some time to learn this. Uber is losing money because people are not, they got to subsidize this somehow.
But they're also hiring these criminal people as well.
Well, here's my take, guys. I come from corporate, right? Higher level positions in corporate world, but Uber has been able to be great at manipulating supply and demand. Okay, so their initial investment in the Orlando market, and really in any market for that matter, is already calculated at a loss, right? So when they brought Uber Black in Orlando, their goal was to attain their supply of drivers, okay? And at that point, it's, like the city of Orlando, like Hill tells me, he saw over 2,000 new companies start up, right? They weren't companies, they were really just drivers who went out on their own, because Uber Black was in town in December when they opened up 2 years ago. And by April, however, they met, in this case, Uber met its goal 2 months ahead of schedule. And that is to create a supply, right? And the supply was drivers to provide the level of service that they needed to provide to those clients. Because by April and May of that year, that following year, anyone driving Uber Black was waiting 8 to 10 hours to get a job because of the saturated amount of drivers. So what did Uber do? Is they did what they were planning to do, and that is they cut off Uber Black and they did Uber Select and dropped the price to $1.75 at that point when it was at $2.45. So I told this because at that point I was working as a general manager at another firm, and I told all those drivers the same thing. I said, listen, you are supplying your own death warrant. When you provide your car to Uber, is in not even 6 months, I said, trust me, they're going to drop those prices down because there's going to be too many of you guys out there driving, and therefore now they want to be able to feed that supply of drivers. And they did. All the drivers went on a strike, apparently, according to them, except for those rogue ones, right? Those rogue ones that got the $70,000, $80,000 Escalade that was doing Uber and just have to make that payment. And even at $1.75, they still had to go make those trips. And so inevitably that strike that went on for a day died on the second day, and everybody went back to driving again. So at the end of the day, Uber does a really great job of anticipating expense as an investment for the return. Now the return. You have anybody doing an Uber right now, the average trip to iDrive is $35 to $42. Okay? $35 to $42 to get into the airport and go down there. For that trip alone, and some of the drivers have tried so many arguments with me, I don't have to go up, I don't have to wait, they're waiting for me, it's curbside pickup, blah, blah, blah. For that $35, $42, you can't do away with the expense. The expense is the same. $5 in tolls, $7 at the airport fee, and then all your expenses for your vehicle. It's still the same. When you go out and you cash out, you're at $42. Even though all that stuff is on top, your cash out is still $35 to $42. Period. They're great at manipulating anyone, and that is, look, man, I'm giving you $10 for the airport fee. I'm giving you $5 for tolls or $8 for tolls. I'm giving you this for that. I'm giving you this for wait time. Oh, and then when you do the math, you're still at $42. $35, $42. Trust me, I've sat down with several drivers and I showed them. I said, yeah, on this trip, it looks like you made almost $60 because of all the add-ons they gave you. But do the math. For your, not just a day, for a week, for a year, you're still at $42. And so when I tell the driver, I'm going to give you 55 or 60 or 70, whatever the case may be, they want to come over here and tell them about like, oh, no. For your service, because I have to wait, you have to pay me more. I'm like, that makes sense. You know the value of your service. So why are you cutting yourself in your heels? And that's unfortunately the case. Everybody's like, well, I got to do something. And I told one driver, I said, you know what, I've been at this for a year and a half. And I've taken a company from a $400,000, $500,000 a year to right now, we made that in March. Okay? In less than a year, I'm already at $600,000 as of April. Why? I don't know, to be honest with you. But you know what? I don't stop working. When a guy calls me at 1 o'clock in the morning, or I took a call at 12:10 in the morning. I was just getting ready to go to bed. He says, I need a job down to Vero Beach, to MCO. I have my 1, 2, 3 affiliate down there who can't do it. Can you do it? I said, yeah, I can do it. 12:10 in the morning. Who are you going to find available to be awake and call and schedule at 6 o'clock in the morning in Vero Beach? Ain't nobody going to answer your phone at that time. But you know what? I had the car. I had the ability. I planned on 5 hours sleep. And I told them, yeah, it's available. 10 minutes later, they call me. It's canceled. You know what? I made free money. Because I was willing to sacrifice myself, you know, should the trip require me to cover it. And so now that affiliate is sending me work. This is what Philip is talking about. Is how do we find what the customer wants or needs? Not what we want. Not what we need. Because if we give them what they want and need, trust me, they'll give you in return what you need. And that's what I find. And I mean, this is a big affiliate. If you guys would know who it is. But, you know, I didn't have a chance in the world because they're solid with their affiliate providers down here. But they called me and they said, my 1, 2, 3 can't help me. Can you do it? I found you on the NLA. I found you on the NLA membership. So, please. Huh? Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Trust me, it's worth it.
Yeah, I guess we're only down to about 2 companies in Orlando, so you could.
I'll take it. But listen, May 23rd, don't forget that date. I will follow up with an email with details. Membership recruitment needs to come from within. Memberships, right? As a president, I'm always knocking on doors. Every time I go out of my office, I'm knocking on the door and I introduce myself. I'm the president of GOLA, right? As a member, you can do that too. hey, I'm a member of GOLA. I don't know if you knew, but through our membership, you can gain these benefits. Blah blah blah. You can go to our website and book a reservation if you want to. Leon, you know it, right? You've gotten those reservation requests. I don't know who else has, but I know I have. Leon has. Have you? See? You can go through our website, and you know that anybody in that membership should be okay to book because they have the right permits and all that kind of stuff. And trust me, I do that every day that I go out of the office. I knock on and I talk to somebody new. I talk to them. I tell them, hey, look, in Orlando, you got GOLA. We'll help you support any group size. I mean, we're a small association right now, but the potential is huge. And the ability, like in your case, you have the premium cars, right? I didn't know anybody that did. Trust me, I'm a youngin' in this industry, right? I'm always calling. I called Cliff the other day. I said, Cliff, who's got an armored car? I found an armored car. Right?
Not in Orlando.
Yeah, no, it's in Orlando.
It is?
Yeah, it's through a security detail person.
That guy,
Oh, you got one?
He's got a tank.
Oh, really?
Man, you got the armored car, he's got a tank.
I'm important, man. I need some armor.
what's the name? He's always about trouble. I know what I'm talking
My
about.
boss. Oh my God.
Remember, I think he was a cop in New York. MJ?
M&L?
M&L.
Armando?
Yeah, Armando.
He doesn't have an armored car.
Didn't he have one? Oh, that's what he got.
I'll talk to you about that later. So listen, at the end of the day, where are we with membership? Is I currently don't have a program in place for the coming month as an event. But if you have an idea of anything that you would like the association to get involved, please let me know. I'll be happy to try to work it together and put people in place to make it happen. We have Philip's going to give us that, I guess, that gift he brought us, and then we'll go outside and do GOLA Vision. In case you guys don't know, you better go get it.
Don't forget to drop your card.
For those of you that don't know, we have a Facebook page.